hate authoritarians. I hate communists. I hate Xi Jinping. I hate Hitler.
Mr. Jones, thank you for being with us, sir. I felt we needed to include that context. Boy, seemed like you were holding on for a bumpy ride with that interview. Do I have that about right? Did you expect that in your wildest dreams?
No, I didn't. And I didn't say what he could talk about, but I said, can we just try to bring people together and talk about real issues like human trafficking and fentanyl and how you want to bring jobs back to America and really see the deeper side of you and not just sound bites. And they were like, yeah, in fact, he doesn't want to even get into that stuff. But then right away, sitting in the same studio I'm in right now, Thursday, bam. And I thought he was joking at first. And here's the deal. He pulled up in front of the office and got out of the vehicle in the GIMP mask. And so I didn't know what to say. And I said, pull your mask off. Let me see it's really you. And it was him. He puts the mask, he unzips the mask. And then it really creepy in person with the mask.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, really, I would see this as almost like a giant trolling operation, really. He was just super high on adrenaline when he did it. He feels really good about it. And I don't think has a very good historical knowledge about World War II either. So, I mean, he really is in love with all of that design, which so much of what the Nazis designed ended up being brought over here with Operation Paperclip. Right. So if it's bad that Ye says he loves Hitler, then it's even worse that our own government brought tens of thousands of Nazis in at the end of World War II to run most of the major agencies. So,
sure.
On a Richter scale, I guess.
Both are bad, but
But
I did notice that you tried to bring in the concept of I'm trying to remember the term Hitler. The man, was it the man yet to come? What was the man to come?
The coming man.
The coming man. And I remember, yes, exactly, the coming man. Sorry, forgive me, but it's something with which I'm familiar. And I remember you asked him a very pointed question. You said you don't want to be that coming man, and it was very clear to me that regardless of where people line up here on any of this, and of course I'm anti-Hitler, and I know that you are, and I'm really glad the Allies beat the Nazis. He was not familiar with that. And so it does concern me that if he's going to go out and make these statements, were you concerned sort of understanding or being around his close inner social circle that they really aren't doing a good job in ensuring that he's informed when he goes out and discusses these issues?
He is very forceful and has a big personality, and it's really hard to get a word in edgewise, kind of like Trump. And people think I have a big personality, but I'll actually be quiet sometimes. And I'm not, putting him down for that. He was like a whirlwind. You couldn't shut him up. He was going to say what he was going to say. And I was bringing up historic, real things about the Nazis that my family, who were in World War II, told me about. Oh, that's true. We saw that in Germany, or we saw that in Italy. Again, both my grandfathers almost died, both of them World War II. I almost don't exist because of it. And they talked about what the Nazis were like. And my mom's dad also worked on some black budget weapons programs in the 50s and 60s, and just said that he'd been at some military bases that had Nazis on them, and they were very, very arrogant, and he didn't like having to work with them in some of these programs. So I'm like 8 years old hearing my grandfather in Austin, Texas, sitting around the kitchen table bitching about Nazis and working on secret weapons programs and how arrogant they were and how much he hated the government bringing them in here. So that's a real thing that's going on. So my dislike of Nazis really comes from my grandfathers, who both didn't like them very much.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. What was it when you had, obviously there's the numbers aspect because he's a huge name right now in the media. What was it that you were looking to achieve, or what were you hoping would be the end goal? What would be the ideal scenario with this interview with Ye? Because obviously it went viral across the media, but bringing him in, what were you hoping was going to come of it?
Well, while I was listening to you do a great job at breaking down that this whole Hunter laptop thing and the Twitter files are a lot bigger than just Hunter Biden. It's everything they've been censoring. I was thinking, what do I want to say about Ye first? And it's just this. I really thought I could come in here and shut up at first and let him get it out of his system, even if he did it. Right. I was saying, hey, let's do something different. Let's show him your intellectual side. Let's get into a bunch of issues. And I had all these issues in front of me. He goes, why don't you just set those aside? We're not getting into that. So I was like, okay, he's letting me know he's in control. And so I figured after an hour, at least, he would let me kind of then bring up some topics I wanted. But you kind of had the salacious crumb, the baby Hitler of Nick Fuentes over there. That was a joke Jimmy Kimmel made. Like, where have I seen this before? And it's I'm Jabba the Hutt, and there's a Salacious Crumb sitting there. But seriously, I didn't know that Nick Fuentes was really a Nazi lover.
Yeah,
I'd had him on over the years 3 or 4 times whenever he was being debanked or censored, and he would be like, "No, I'm not a Nazi. I just care about white people's rights." So I think this whole thing was a real coming out. And I'll be honest with you, especially with the Fuentes thing, and I'll still have Fuentes on. I believe in the First Amendment, but there's a real creepy factor with this Hitler stuff. And then I also noticed that Richard Spencer came out and said, "Yay, blew Jones away," because Jones is really controlled by the liberal narrative that Hitler's bad. But those of us that know the dark, powerful beauty of Hitler and of the darkness and of the strength, and it's like some homoerotic, thing over Hitler. That is kind of what's going on. There's this Hitler fetish, and no, I'm not into dudes in fancy, peacock military uniforms that by the way, got 22 million Germans killed. So the biggest killer of Germans in history, if you like Germanic people, and I'm basically half German, have a lot of German roots, is Hitler. Hitler was a disaster. Hitler was an occultist. Hitler was a pedophile. Hitler was horrible. Screw Hitler. Burn in hell Hitler. And the left uses Hitler to push their communist agenda that is basically just as bad and authoritarian, to call all of us Hitler. And so people are so sick of being called Hitler, they go, hey, if Hitler's so powerful, let's just say we're with Hitler. And that's what these people are doing. And I felt like I was sucked in to a giant publicity stunt. Now I'm not mad at either person. I understand that they probably even believe what they're doing. But no, I saw a whole bunch of programs like the Young Turds and all of them say, Jones is just mad they let the secret out. Jones likes Hitler. No, I hate authoritarians. I hate communists. I hate Xi Jinping. I hate Hitler. I hate Mao Zedong. I hate Joseph Stalin. I hate Fidel Castro. I hate Hugo Chavez. Yeah. I love George Washington. I love Thomas Jefferson. I love American strength and freedom and power and Christianity and open societies and capitalism and free speech. And I want it back now. So burn in hell, Hitler and Stalin and Mao. Burn in hell. This is what I told Piers Morgan. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. And if you try to take our guns, 1776 will commence again.
You are my yay right now. See, I'm you and you're yay. See?
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.